I would like to jump in with a quick note before my speech begins because I just want to apologize for all the sniffles you're going to hear in this video because I'm not feeling super well right now, but I still got it done. Today I'll be showing you how I step-by-step made my Kylo Ren cosplay for a local con called RadCon. If you don't know who Kylo Ren is, it's this guy. Let's start out small and work our way up. There are only two parts of this cosplay that I bought and chose not to alter at all: the boots and the gloves. Now the reason for this is that, honestly, there aren't very much detailing to his boots and gloves in the movie, and I really didn't have time to focus on every single detail. So I chose to just get these on clearance racks at my local store. Next up is the belt. Now, what I did is I went to Hobby Lobby and I found scrap leather bags, which I didn't even know existed. But I was able to find in it this long piece of nice, beautiful leather. Now, the most interesting part about this belt is, of course, its buckle. I'm very proud of this because I wanted to make sure it was exactly detailed and perfect to how he had it in the movie. So what I chose to do was actually 3D print it. This was a lot of fun to make. So I actually originally just went online and found an already made file of this design, and then I just modified it to custom fit the belt that I'd already bought. Now, and then all I had to do was email the file to the CBC lab, and I was able to get it 3D printed for free from our school. It was amazing. This is the shirt. Now, I'm actually nowhere near this good at sewing. I hope to be someday, but I had a friend help me with most of the sewing of this costume. She did such an amazing job because each and every one of these flaps is individually sewn so that they don't come out or unravel. And this is exactly like how he has it in the movie, and it works amazing with the costume. Next up is the scarf. Now, the scarf may look kind of confusing when it's not on the body, but it looks amazing altogether. It has all of these individual small snaps all throughout the scarf, so that when I put it on over the tunic, I can snap it into exactly the right place to get exactly the draping that I want. This is the largest part of my costume, the tunic. Now, it looks very girly like this with its little V and flowy, drapey look, but in actuality, when you put it on, it doesn't look like this at all. The V is only there because it's easier to get on and off without a zipper, but the scarf covers that completely. Now the skirt part, which looks like a dress, actually has slits down the middle and sides, so when I wear leggings underneath it, it doesn't look like a dress at all. I also have this hood. It has these snaps all along the bottom so that I can curl it under and attach it to the top so that it drapes around my head nicely. The top border is filled with this very stiff paper so that it doesn't flop down and, fall around my face. I want it to shape my face and give it a dramatic look. And of course, for the big finale, we have the helmet. This is what took me the longest, and I spent a lot of time on. I spent a whole day at a con with it, though, and I dropped it several times, and it's gotten its fair share of bruises, but I'm still very, very proud of it. I started the helmet by creating a base out of cardboard to fit my head, and I used templates to make sure it was the right shape. However, I realized after I created the entire helmet out of cardboard that it wasn't the shape I wanted at all. So I had to go back and add in this flap here and completely change the shape of the top of the head and change the entire brow bone. It took a long time, but it was definitely worth it in the end. The next thing I did was pretty basic, and that was just paper mache the entire thing. I paper mache'd the front pieces separately so that I'd be able to remove them later on, but the rest of it I made sure I paper mache'd all together. The only other thing that I didn't was the appliques because I wanted to make sure that was after the paint job. The last thing I did before a paint job was cover the entire thing in plaster of Paris. I didn't do the front, but I did the entire back, because I wanted to be able to sand it down and get it as smooth as I could, but the most important thing was I wanted to be able to carve these lines in. I didn't get them as smooth or neat as I would have liked, but they were very important to the accuracy of the helmet. The front of the helmet is my favorite part. These dents are all intentional, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out because I wasn't sure how I was going to dent cardboard that well, but it turned out very nice. Now, I actually made it so that this could come off so that I could breathe while excuse my styrofoam head, so I could breathe while I'm at the con. So I just used Legos and hot glued them on so they could come off and on easily, which did prove to be a slight problem because whenever I set the helmet down, it would fall off automatically, but it's really easy to put back on, so it was okay and it was worth it. Now the final thing I did is it was the night before the con. I made these chrome pieces, which are supposed to be a chrome metal. I made them out of gift box cardboard, and the front really didn't glue on as I would have liked. It's very off and just asymmetrical, but it was the night before and it was really all I had time to get as perfect as I could, and this is definitely the first thing I would like to replace on this cosplay if I were to wear it again. But I still think that it turned out good enough, and from far away when I'm wearing it in pictures, it really looks amazing, and it looks like chrome metal if you don't look close enough.
This is by far one of my favorite cosplays I've ever done. I was faced with new challenges and new time constraints that I've never had to deal with, and I love the outcome. I hope to get the chance to wear it to another con, and soon.
Now if you look at the skirt, it has these slits so that it doesn't actually look like to sand it and carve it so that I could get these lines. Oh no!
If you don't know who Kylo Ren is, it's this guy.
That is the wrong poster.
I'm sorry, Benny. I would never compare you to Kylo Ren. You're way cooler.